welcome to our 2023 High School Region 9 Basketball Media Day here from the Nets on Fire Sports Complex. Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave with the Fan Sports Network. We're excited to team up with the Fan, St. George News, and all of our Region 9 teams to get you the coverage leading up to the season. We've already snuck in a couple early preseason games, but for the most part, everybody's just getting the season started this week. And first off, joining us in the building here at Nets on Fire, the Dixie Flyers played in the state championship game last year. Coach Roberts, Jordy Roberts, Kyle Limke, Brecken Robinson, Logan Widehour represent the rest of their teammates. And Coach, as we always do, let's start with you and talk about the offseason and give us an overall preview for the Flyers this year.
Yeah, thanks for having us, first off. So preseason-wise, we've got a good little schedule set for ourselves. One of the biggest things was obviously the summer schedule. Being a part of that Adidas circuit was a lot of fun, and had an opportunity for these guys to be able to basically travel the country, you know, going to South Carolina and going to Arizona and Dallas, Texas, which was a lot of fun. And I think that was one of the things that helped prepare us. And then obviously that led right into our setting our schedule for this season. Just try to make it as tough as possible. And yeah.
You're in your 6th year. You guys get to the state championship game. You go 22-5 last year. You got a lot coming back. Tell us about what the rotation will look like getting ready for the season.
Yeah, so obviously having these 4 guys, they're 4 of our captains, 4 of our starters this year. One of the guys we're missing right now is Damon Myers. That's a starter, and then Tyson Forsey as well. But basically this group, the thing that I love about them is, one, we've been together for a long time. And that's something that's been obviously a lot of fun and very special to be a part of this group. And I think the biggest thing with them is just how much they love each other and the way they play the game of basketball. I think they play it the right way, and it's been exciting to watch them play. And obviously the last couple of weeks getting into practice and kind of dialing in that way.
Now, you guys, like you say, you're all back in a way. You know, at least a good portion of you are back. You've been playing together a long time. And in that case, that does make you guys a little bit of a target for a lot of teams. Consensusly, you guys are the #1 team in Region 9. How does that make you feel?
I mean, a target, it basically just means that we've kind of prepared ourselves. You know, over the summer and the off season, basically we've tried to, again, create that schedule and play the best opponents we possibly could. You know, playing like teams like Utah Prep, you know, about a couple weeks ago, we ended up playing them, or I guess it was like 4 weeks ago, playing them down in Vegas and beating them, teams like that, playing Alta, playing those higher level teams. But a target, in my opinion, is just one of those things that says, hey, you know, these guys have put in the work, they put in the time, and, you know, again, not sure what to target.
Well, and truth be said, I'd rather be ranked #1 than #7. So I would want that target on my back. That shows respect to your program. Now, on a Coach Roberts personal coaching level, what's the difference between Coach Roberts year 1 and Coach Roberts year 6?
That's a good question. I think year 1, obviously it's kind of your first year of being able to do what you want to do, kind of implement things or maybe change a few different things. That's kind of when I created, my opinion, the Fly Fam idea. Mm-hmm. Basically a lot of guys just coming together for one and buying into that. And then year 6, I would say, obviously I've had this group for a very long time. And I think the biggest thing now is just allowing them to play. Maybe year 1, 2, you want to be a little more in control, do things, you know, be a little more structured. With these guys, they're in the schedule that we played, the IQ that they have, just allowing them to play now is probably year 6. Coach Roberts is really having fun.
Yeah.
My goal right now is with these guys, which we talk about it all the time, is enjoying the journey. I mean, yeah, a state championship is what you want, it's what everybody wants, it's our goal, but we have to enjoy the journey. And of course, it's their senior year now, so we just gotta enjoy it.
Yeah. Talk about just the 4A getting bigger this year, obviously. Not just us in Cache Valley anymore. We saw it play out in football a little differently, bigger bracket. It's going to be the same for basketball.
Yeah, you know, I think the biggest thing is it is a lot more teams, which I think is a lot more fun. Adding those other teams, and Northern Utah has always been really good at basketball. But I still think that Region 11's a great region. Green Canyon looked really good this offseason. Skyview, Ridgeline. Logan as well, and then Layton Christian. You know, still having Layton Christian. They dropped came up to 4A this last year that we played them in the semis, but Layton Christian's good, and then all those other regions, right? I mean, we just don't know. So I think that's exciting. It's exciting to not have the exact same teams all the time.
Bringing the players for a minute, and we'll circle back to Coach Roberts for some more questions. Dixie Flyers getting our Region 9 Media Day coverage going. Jordy, let's start with you. What's it like, man? Does basketball ever sleep? I mean, I feel like it probably doesn't. Thanksgiving, you guys watched a lot of hoops. How was your turkey, man?
It was good. Yeah, we didn't have much of a break. Still got the boys together and got some ball going, so it was fun.
You know, when you hear your dad say, hey, this group's been together a long time, what's it like from a player's perspective, having your dad coach you since you were old enough to dribble a basketball all the way up through?
It's been super fun. I love it, and especially having these guys with me along the way. I've been playing with them since as long as I can remember, so, and having him as a coach is awesome, so I love it.
Now, you guys came up just short last year. You know, state championship game came up short. Does that give you guys even more motivation to get started this year and get back to that state championship, but, you know, change that outcome?
Yeah, for sure. Super excited for this year, and yeah, it definitely gives us a little bit more motivation and keeps us hungry for this season.
How's the injury? I know you got nicked up a little bit in the summer league and the AAU circuit. What happened there?
Yeah, I just broke my arm on my left arm, so, but I'm mostly healed, so should be fun. I'm good.
Coach, is he 100%?
Yeah, he's 100%. Yeah, he's ready to go. He's hungry.
Kyle, down to you. What does you're one of two or three players really that have a great shot at winning region MVP. What does a guy like Kyle Lemke work on in the off season?
Just shooting, getting my like mid-range and three-point down, because that's one of my weaknesses.
Big man stepping out, hitting the three.
And then I don't know, just playing basketball. Just keep playing, getting better every game.
Yeah.
I see you're keeping the stash. That's
Yeah.
still a staple. That's still around.
Yeah, I grew it back for the season.
Is that your good luck charm?
I think so. Yeah.
Can you other three grow mustaches or no?
Oh yeah.
Logan,
yeah.
Logan had one. Logan's got his started back.
Okay.
Damon's got one, so yeah, they're working on that.
Love it.
Let's bring in Bracken Robinson. How's the three-point shot, buddy? You kind of known as the corner pocket assassin. Did you keep stats in this summer? What'd you shoot from the distance? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I like to shoot it. I didn't keep any stats really. Don't, especially like when I shoot, I don't like have a set number, but yeah, keep shooting, getting there, getting shots all summer, getting better.
How's the chemistry bringing Logan into the program? Has that been seamless?
Yeah, he's just fit like a glove. It's been perfect. Obviously he was here for a little bit, his like 8th grade year, 7th grade year, and we played with him for a while. So yeah, he fits like a glove. It felt right.
Logan, what do you think about that, the chemistry? How are you feeling fitting in?
It's great. It's good to be back with my boys and playing with them, but it's been great so far. Chemistry is awesome. We all get along. We all love each other, so it's been great.
Coach, tell us a little bit about you. Lead south when you hit White Hour. I mean, kind of swap.
Yeah, different players. Obviously, adding Logan, having him 6th through 8th grade is when he actually lived here and was a big part of it. His dad was on my coaching staff when we won it in 2020, and so having Logan back has just brought so much to our team. He adds a whole different dimension with rebounding. He can still score. He's a great passer. He's big and strong. So, I mean, I'm extremely excited to have Logan be a part of our team, and he kind of just. I mean, like they said, they fit right in. And, last night we're over hanging out at my house, and they're all there just, we watched Crimson and Layton Christian game. It's just fun having them all around and just seeing them again. I think it's the relationships and those memories that are made through the year. We're going to play a lot of basketball, but I love that they love each other.
Now, I know that all these boys are your boys, but there is one that his last name is Roberts. And this is his senior year. What does that mean? Do you ever reflect back yet? Have you reflected back yet on the experiences that you're having with your son?
Yeah, I mean, all the time. I think that's why I'm crazy with taking pictures and video type stuff, because, I mean, and that's why we do a lot of our highlight stuff. Just, I think it's things that we can reflect back on, and obviously the memories that are made are more important than anything. But it's been obviously a blessing to be able to coach him and all these guys. Again, I think I treat them all like my sons.
Absolutely.
I love them all a lot. But yeah, having Jordan as our point guard this year, it's kind of that extension of the coach on the floor, and And I love that because a lot of times he'll look at me like, no, we're not running that. We're running this. I'm like, okay, you know. And that's coach year
Yeah.
6.
Yes, exactly.
6-year coach, right? So just having that extension on the court it's been special and been fun to be a part of.
It's got to feel nice though to see some of this coaching start to pay off, not just with your own son, but like you say, with all of the boys.
Yeah, I think the thing with all of them is they put in so much time. You know, it's not like I'm saying, hey guys, you got to be here at this time and do this, but they're always at the church shooting. They're finding another teammate. They're playing 1-on-1. They're playing 3-on-3. They just love the game so much, and I think that was the biggest thing. Is a lot of people say, man, you guys played 82 games in the off season or whatever it is. You know, like we've only played 20 or 30, whatever. But I think the biggest thing with this group is they just love hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
And that's what I keep telling them. Is like they'd rather, you know, they love hanging out in the hotel rooms and hanging out. Then we'll go play some basketball too. So it's just been an awesome journey.
Love it.
Coach, take us through the preseason a little bit. You said you put together a really good preseason schedule. Talk to us a little bit about what you expect from your guys early on, and what you expect from some of your opponents before you get to region play.
Yeah, so we play this week. We play Cypress on Thursday, and then we play Mountain View on Friday at home, and then we go on the road to a Sky Ridge tournament. We know that we play Westlake first, and Harriman's in that tournament. Copper Hills is in that tournament, and so. And Sky Ridge obviously is in that. Then we go back up the next week and we play Orem and Timpview. Then we come home and get to play Crimson at Crimson, which will be a fun one on the 20th. Then we go to a tournament at Damien Classic out in California, the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th, the invite-only tournament in California. So that's kind of our preseason. You know, I think these guys, as we were kind of putting together our schedule, the input that they had too is just we want to play the best. That's why we're like, hey, we got invited to California. Let's go play in that tournament. Let's see where we're at and play with some of those better teams in the country. So,
Coach Robertson, the Dixie Flyers guys, final questions for any of the guys? Coach Robertson?
Good. Go Big Blue.
Logan, Brecken, Kyle, Jordy, thanks for coming in, representing the rest of your teammates, and have a great year. We'll see you on the court soon. Coach, always great to see you, man.
Thank
for
you.
stopping by. The
Thanks,
Dixie
you guys.
Flyers getting their season underway on Thursday against Cypress. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, Media Day coverage continues. So Kenny Warriors will join us after this.
The Fan Sports Network is your home for local sports. Catch The Drive with Devin Dixon from 7 to 9, and From the Bleachers with Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave from 4 to 6. Plus, Utah Tech and high school sports live on the radio and streaming on the fansportsnetwork.com.
Sullivan Homes is a fan favorite for homeowners in southern Utah. Their Just Right features come standard, and you always get quality construction and the Just Right home and commercial building experience. Visit sullivan-homes.com to make your dream home a reality. Nets on Fire is the premier indoor basketball training facility in southern Utah with 4 full-size gyms and group and individual training packages available for every age and skill level. Nets on Fire can elevate your game. Hoop it, Nets!
We give you the green light. 4 seasons auto sales. Hook you up with some wheels. Drive on out of here. We give you the green light. Buy here, pay here. You can apply online. Now it's time to ride.
Red Ledge's Dermatology and Med Spa, specializing in general and cosmetic dermatology, treating acne, rashes, warts, and more. They even do cancer screenings and offer a free chemical pill with your first appointment. So if you need dermatology, think Red Ledge's Dermatology, located just off Snow Canyon Parkway, St. George.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
I've got 15 seconds to list all the reasons that you should call Jason Baum at Bay Equity Home Loans. First-time home buyer specialist, down payment assistant loans, investment loans other guys haven't even heard of, reverse mortgages, and so many more to name before I run out of time.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Welcome back, everybody. 2023 High School Basketball Media Day coverage continues. Devin, Mark, Caden, we're all hanging out here on the Fan Sports Network at Nets. They're hosting our Media Day coverage today. Building champions on and off the court. Excited to be here in the facility. If you've never been here, check it out or check out the website, netsonfire.org. Next up, the Snow Canyon Warriors in the building, and we got 4 first-year coaches in Region 9 and Coach Ryan Ball, the first to talk with us here as head coach of the Snow Canyon Warriors. And, Coach, before we talk with the players, let's talk about you getting the job at Snow Canyon. Take us through that hiring process and give us an overall preview for the Warriors now that you've settled in on the job.
Yeah, it's exciting to be here. I'm seriously blessed with, like, the best boys I could possibly have, the best coaching staff. It was really a pretty easy process, honestly. I drove down from northern Utah for an interview. It was pretty great, and the same day was offered the job, and it was really just, I think, a perfect storm for me and really great opportunity. And I think the Warriors are going to be a really strong team this year, especially if we get our guys to really buy in to what we're asking them to do, to really play their roles. I really think we can be one of the top teams in the state because we've got the talent there, we've got the coaching staff, and I think we've really got a lot of different unique abilities within our team that I think really fit well into a team structure that'll really show what we can do this year.
So being the new coming head coach, your system, what do you guys like to do? What's your go-to strategies here?
You know, the first couple weeks of practice, I think, have really been a lot of defensive strategy. Like, I really think that if we can rely on our defense to start specifically, that's kind of where we're going to be able to get out and run because, you know, I think we're a really good team in transition. I think we've got the personnel to do it. We've got some speed. We've got shooters. I mean, we've got all of those things right here just with these 3 guys. And each of the players on our team bring those kind of abilities. And so we've really been focusing on, you know, can we get the stops on the defensive end, be able to run and play quickly, and really be able to get easy baskets rather than, you know, some half-court stuff I think is really going to come along throughout the season. Early on, I think it's important to be able to play defense, get those stops, and get out and get some easy buckets.
So, Coach, you went through your first tryout period. How was that, like with cuts or anything like that? How was that?
It's hard. It really is. Like, I think it's the worst part of the job when you have to cut a kid, especially, you know, when they've been playing with you in the summer and in the fall leagues, and you're kind of sitting there like, man, I really like this kid. You get to know him, and then there just might not be a spot for him. And I think it is really tough. But I think in the end, you know, you really just take the guys that you feel like are going to not only be able to help you win basketball games, but you really want guys that are going to push you in practice. And especially when you get your starting 5 and your kind of varsity guys and the guys that you really know are going to be in your rotation, it's also just as important, I think, to have those, you know, numbers 9 through 12 and even beyond that to push your guys in practice to be able to make it tough on them and really compete. And I think that's the biggest thing about tryouts is when you decide your roster, who's going to be able to push those guys in practice and really make it, you know, a really big impact, even if it's not going to be on the court in games.
Coach Ball, Snow Canyon Warriors. We'll circle back to Coach in just a minute. We got more questions for you. But let's bring in the players. Start with Owen Mackey. Owen Mackey, everybody knows by this point in time. And, Owen, take me through your summer, man. How was playing with, what was it, Utah Prospects? Utah Prospects.
Yeah.
That's big time, man. How'd it go?
It was probably one of the most fun basketball experiences I've ever had. I was blessed with a wonderful coach, and the players on that team were incredible, fun to play with. They all play the right way. And it was just a fun summer.
Signature moment, key memory? You get a dunk over some big name that we're going to see playing for North Carolina soon or anything?
I don't know. Not off the top of my head, but probably just, you know, winning the Adidas National Championship was an incredible experience.
Awesome. Now you've committed to Utah Tech after high school and post-mission as well. What was that decision like in the process and deciding where to play afterwards?
You know, the biggest thing for me was I prayed about it a lot. After I went on my visit, I just felt completely comfortable with the coaches, and that was a huge part in that decision-making process. And also the fact that I felt like I needed to stay home and stay close to younger siblings and family.
Trey, you're going into your senior year. I'm sure your role is going to be, your coach is going to ask you to do a little bit more this year for sure. What have you worked on in the off season to help out this season?
I've definitely helped. Not helped. I've definitely
worked on.
I've definitely worked on helping the younger guys, younger classmen, get better practices. I feel like, and pushing them, and helping their little mistakes that they have. So basically
trying to leave your legacy behind then, right?
Yeah.
Love it.
Exactly.
From a player's perspective, how different is it going from Coach Meach to Coach Ball?
It's a little different, but I kind of like it. It's something new. So.
What are you looking forward to most this season besides just getting out there and playing some ball?
I'm excited to see how far we go and how much we're going to be able to work together as a team, and to show. I feel like we'll definitely surprise a lot of people for sure. Yes.
You guys were close last year, bringing Dre for a second, Dre Smith. 40-37. You guys losing the quarters last year. I know that it's got a bad taste in your mouth, and you guys didn't make as deep a run. How much does that motivate you guys to make a deeper run this year?
Just being there and being a part of the program and being at every practice and stuff. I really thought last year we could have gone far, and stuff happened. I think we expected to lose that game, but I feel like this year we're coming back. We have just as good or better talent than last year, and I think we have a good group of guys, and I think we really can take it all the way this year if we put everything together, and I'm super excited.
Taking on more of an important role here this year, more time out there on the court. What does it feel like for you to have a little bit more responsibility on your shoulders?
I like it. I feel like through all the basketball I've been through, I feel like I can take on that role, and I feel like us three as captains too, I feel like we all have a good responsibility to bring the team together, each do our role, and I think as we do our role and do what Coach asks us, that we can really go far, like I said, and do good this year.
Now, Trey, I noticed that you are growing the stash as well. We just had Kyle Lemke in here that has a very nice stash going. How thick is yours going to get?
Ooh, I don't know. This has been growing for a while, it feels like. Definitely don't think it's going to get as long as his is for sure. Might be cutting it soon, though.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm going to go back to Owen for just a second. What's going to be like senior playing with your little brother, Reggie, a sophomore? That's going to be kind of fun for you, right?
I'm so excited to play with him. It's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to play with your little brother, somebody who you've played one-on-one against in the backyard growing up, and it's just super exciting.
I've caught just glimpses of it. What's some of his strengths?
He's a pass-first guy. He doesn't turn the ball over much, and he takes care of it, and when he's open, he'll knock down his shots. But he's grown a lot, and he's put in a lot of work, and he's strong, so defensively he's definitely a big help, and offensively he does take care of the ball.
What did it feel like from last season? I never got the chance to talk to you about this, so we'll do it now. What did it feel like from last season, seeing some of those highlights go viral on Instagram and TikTok and all over the place, some of your dunking highlights?
I didn't even know about any of them until people would say, hey, have you seen this video? And because I don't have any social media. If you see my Instagram, that's all my mom. She runs all that. But it's just I don't know, it's a cool experience to see those things.
Shout out to our video guy Aaron for grabbing one of the best videos of your dunks I've ever seen as well. So
yeah, shout out to your mom, because she want to run my social media.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired of it.
Coach Ball, I'm coming back to you. You look like you have been behind a microphone before. Tell us a little bit about your history behind the microphone.
Yeah, I'm actually on the other side of the microphone this time with Devin here.
Yeah.
I interned with him, I want to say summer of 2017, I think it was, so about 6.5 years ago. He let me come on and kind of be part of the show, and even after that, he would have me on basically during basketball season, talk college basketball, sometimes high school basketball, but a lot of NBA talk. And so I've done a lot of, mic to mic with him and that kind of situation. So it's fun to be on the other end of it and now have a little bit of a different role in being part of this now and actually living in St. George now and being part of this. So.
Yeah, I've lost my insider, and this guy knows hoops. He knows the game. He's right up there with like a David Locke as far as the analytics and the numbers go. I'll tell you that much for sure. I want to know about the bigs. How's Owen Aloha fitting in, coming over from Hurricane? How's Ryder Holt looking? How are some of your bigs doing?
I think our bigs have actually been the pleasant surprise for me. I think coming in, there was a little bit of like, how are they going to fit with the style of offense we want to play? How are they going to fit defensively in what we're doing? Owen Aloha has been really a need that I think we've had that I don't think we really knew that we needed until he came. And he brings a lot of athleticism. He's a strong rebounder. He's really good and he's really vocal on defense to the point that, I think he's the loudest guy on defense most of the time, and it really helps because his voice really carries. But he's also going to bring some offensive punch, I think, that we didn't really have in terms of a big guy that none of our bigs are really, great at sitting back to the basket and making a great move inside, but they can do that when they need to. And between him and Carter Campbell has been really good as well and really fitting in and playing the role that we wanted him to. He's been really good at making the extra pass. And, I think really our bigs are going to really have to focus on being strong rebounders, because that's kind of going to be one of the things that I think is really going to take this team to the next level is can we be strong rebounders? Can we get out and transition that way? And they've really fit, and Ryder's just going to bring the defensive presence. I mean, the football guy that, is one of the top tacklers in the entire nation, right? He's going to bring some sort of physical presence to our team, play some defense, also be able to rebound. And, at times, especially if we can get him off the ball, getting to the basket, he can make some impact there as well.
And what's the identity of a Coach Ball basketball team? What's their identity? Is it defense? Is it offense? Is it?
Yeah, I think for myself, I've tried to really be a defensive type of coach where it's, I love to play fast. I like to be able to, like I said, get out and transition, especially early in the season, when you're kind of trying to get your offense rolling. It always helps to just get the stops, right? Though some of your best offense can be getting a rebound. It's hard to go set up an offense when you're taking the ball out from under the net, right? It's just a lot harder to do. It's just the facts. And so I like to try and be a defensive coach where we really, the first week and a half, 2 weeks of practice, we're really sitting trying to learn what we're going to do on defense on ball screens, how we're going to, rotate on defense. And so we've done a lot of, disadvantaged defensive drills, 5-on-4 stuff that can really help us be in the right position and help and try and get into passing lanes and get steals and really use our defense as an offensive principle, really.
Yeah. I want to go back to Owen. You got to get 20 shots tonight. That's a good game plan, but opponents are going to try to take that away from you. How do you balance out facilitating versus trying to take over and get your shots when you need to?
I think for me is just focusing on making the right play, whether it's an open shot or the extra pass into a more open shot. I try not to force a lot of shots, and I really do try and make the right play and find my guys.
Great answer from Mr. Mackey. We're going to talk more about him a little bit later, but that's going to do it unless you guys have more questions for Coach Ball or the guys. Nope. All right, guys. Have a safe, successful season. The Snow Canyon Warriors, our time is up, but appreciate you coming by, and we'll see you out on the court. We'll be broadcasting a ton of Snow Canyon games on the Fan Sports Network this season. All right, we'll take a break, and the Hurricane Tigers will join us when we come back as our Media Day coverage continues here from Nets on Fire.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross.
Red Rock Real Estate has over 200 professional realtors in the St. George area that specialize in the local market. Whether you're buying your dream home, looking for an investment property, or want to sell your home for the highest amount, the Red Rock Real Estate team is here to assist you. Get started now by visiting redrockrealestate.com.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Scooter's Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee. Anytime is a good time to sip and smile Scooter's Coffee. Open 7 days a week.
Own property and want to rent it? Then you need the right team with 11 years of local experience, a staff of over 25 employees, and a 4.9 Google rating. Aim to maximize your rental income and find quality tenants while keeping turnover low to increase your revenue and truly maintain your property. Learn more at redrockpropertymanagement.com. Relatives coming to visit, not enough room, or maybe you're looking to host a family reunion and need a house with a pool. Well, Red Rock Vacation Rentals has got you covered. From 2-bedroom condos to 10-bedroom luxury homes, they truly have something for everyone. Plan your perfect getaway or staycation. Visit stgeorgeutahvacationrentals.com. The Fan Sports Network is your home for local sport. Catch The Drive with Devin Dixon from 7 to 9. And From the Bleachers with Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave from 4 to 6. Plus, Utah Tech and high school sports live on the radio and streaming on thefansportsnetwork.com.
Sullivan Homes is a fan favorite for homeowners in Southern Utah. Their Just Right features come standard, and you always get quality construction and the Just Right home and commercial building experience. Visit sullivan-homes.com to make your dream home a reality.
Welcome back, everybody. It's our 2023 High School Basketball Media Day for Region 9, and we're loving it. We're already 2 teams in. If you missed the Flyers, the Warriors, don't worry. You can go back and watch this a little bit later, but it's time for the Hurricane Tigers to join us on set. Devin Dixon. We got Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave, all with the Fan Sports Network, and now the Hurricane Tigers. And first-year head coach. Told you there's 4 first-year head coaches. We meet another one here, and Coach Stout joins us. And, Coach, tell us about getting hired and taking over the job. I know you're no stranger to Hurricane basketball.
Yeah, no, been around a while. Watched the kids, grow up. Seems like I've watched all these teams, juniors and seniors now since they were in 2nd grade. But anyway, super excited. Got the job about the middle of July, so didn't get the advantage of the spring and the summer with them that we'd liked. But nonetheless, we're super excited to get going. These boys have put in a lot of work, and excited about the prospects of Region.
Give us kind of an overall preview. Tell us, about what you expect from certain guys, how the bench and depth looks as a whole.
Well, we've got we're gonna be young. We've got 3 seniors, 3 juniors, and then 3 sophomores who are gonna be seeing the floor a lot. We are decently deep, so we feel like we got a lot of kids that can play, and they have played a lot of basketball in the past. So again, we know this region is it's brutal, it's tough, and so, but these kids have worked hard. They're buying into what to the things that we've been talking about, and I feel like we're going to be a tough out. So
how's the chemistry with the team right now?
They're much better. So it's getting better now that we've got our football players back playing as a team. They're coming together. They're starting to see. I mean, we're already 3 games in, so I think there's some good video of us playing well together, and Caleb's throwing down a lot of dunks. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun, and to see them start to play to their potential it's been very satisfying.
I asked Coach Ball the same question, another first-year coach here in Region 9. You went through your tryouts, then you had to go through cuts. How was that?
Cuts are brutal. It's the hardest thing, to cut those kids. But Our tryouts, they brought a lot of energy, and it was a tough process for me. I didn't realize it was going to be that hard, but there's a lot of hairs you got to split, and it's not fair, obviously, but we've got some kids that have worked hard and put in a lot of time.
Football coaches just don't know how easy they have it, do they? Just put them on the sideline and you can keep everybody, but basketball, you just can't do that.
Yeah.
Coach, how excited are you to kind of blank canvas start over? You guys only won 2 games last year. Coach Schweikert was 1 year and gone. How refreshing is it for you to kind of get the job and put your stamp on it and start with a blank canvas?
Super exciting. It's a lot of fun. Like you say, we're 3 games in already, and to see these kids play with the type of energy they've played with, and played some good games. It's just, it's good. It's good. It's been a process. Obviously, getting them in the fall, and getting through the fall league and the games, and doing a lot of conditioning and a lot of that stuff that you need to do to get into Region 9 shape, right? And they bought in, and they've done it, and they're getting better. So
you guys are averaging 72 games. You're 2-1. Last year, you only averaged 48.9 points per game. Talk about the scoring uptick. I know it's early in the preseason. You're playing different teams from out of conference, but this team has a lot more capable scorers maybe than last year, huh?
We do. We're well balanced. Those 3 games are at home. Hopefully, we can keep that scoring in a way in which we'll see this week. We got 3 games up north this week, and hopefully we can continue to shoot the way we are. But we feel like, in practice and everybody we put all those kids on the floor. They can score, so they can shoot. And then obviously with our anchor in the middle, Caleb, we feel like teams have been focused on him a lot, as they should be. But that's opened things up for the guys on the outside. So.
Now you guys got started earlier in the season. Is that partially due to you coming in later in July and you didn't have a lot of that summer to see what these guys have? Where did that come into play?
Well, Coach Schweikart put together the schedule mostly for us last year. We got the Payson game late. They were able to come down and fill that slot for us, and we appreciated that. But yeah, most of that was done previously. But it was very refreshing to see, to get some games under our belt. So
let's bring in the players, and we'll circle back to that tournament you mentioned because you're going to play some big-name 4A teams this week. But let's bring in the players and start with Quinn Gubler, who's right there next to Coach Stout. And Quinn, now that you got a couple games under your belt, how you feeling about the upcoming season and how you guys stand in the rest of Region 9, who's always a good basketball region here in town?
I feel like we're going to do a lot better than last year, and every game is going to be competitive, and we can play with any team. So,
what are you looking forward to most this season?
Probably just, I don't know, like I feel like we were working really good as a team, and just to get better as a team and play really good together. So.
Houston, I'm going to jump down to you real quick. Your role obviously is going to grow this year with being such a young team. What are you taking upon yourself as a player?
I like to focus on defense first and then let the offense flow to me. Just kind of be a defensive anchor.
Mm-hmm. Now, looking at the stats, it looks like, shooting percentage-wise, you're an efficient offensive player as well. What does that look like for you and your mindset on the offensive side?
I try not to force. I just let the offense come to me.
Let's bring in Mr. Jackman. Come from a basketball family. You're always tall. You always can stretch the 4 to the 5, shoot the 3. How was the summer, man, getting ready for the season? Did you play with an AAU travel team, or who'd you play with this summer?
I played with Tiger Elite Hoops. It was the travel team Schweikart put on. And then I played with Herkin Heat for the end of summer.
You just love to play. You're always in the gym, aren't you?
Yeah. It's just the basketball court is where I love to be.
Talk about the start of the season. How excited are you after you guys got a couple wins under your belt and you see the offense kind of coming along early in the season?
It's very refreshing to be able to know that this team that we have this year will be able to compete and go out and win games.
Caleb, other than a dunk, what's your favorite shot?
Favorite shot? I don't know. I'd like to say corner three.
Corner three.
Corner three. I don't know. Like, I'll be able to sneak out sometimes from the paint. And when I do, I just drift to the corner. It's just there.
Does coach give you that green light?
Yeah.
Nice.
You can make them. Why not, right?
Why not?
Speaking of another guy that's got a green light, huge, 32, I think, in the first game. You're hitting 3 threes a game, R.J. Hurst. You know, when these guys get double team, it's going to come back out to you. Are you getting a lot of those threes in the early season off double teams, or are you getting them off the dribble? Or take me through those, because I haven't seen any of the film yet.
Yeah, with our new offense, there's a lot more flow, and I've gotten more kick-out threes, and then I like to play off pick and roll, great shots, great open passes. It's felt pretty good.
Yeah, averaging nearly 20 points a game so far through the first few games that you guys have had. So, offensively, where's your mindset when you're coming down? You know, you got the ball in your hands. You know, what is it that you're thinking about in that moment?
First, I just want to look up to push the ball, but then I always just try and start the game aggressive. If I can get to the hoop, then shots will open up later on.
How many basketball players do you have that play other sports? I'm just curious in Hurricane. Is there a lot of multi-sport athletes on the team? Anybody can answer that question. Coach, go ahead.
So we've got 3 other football players, and a few golfers, I think. And
There you go. They're athletes too.
I don't know what else there is. But yeah, so we've got a few of that. But most of these boys, you know, they spend a lot of time in the gym, play a lot of basketball year round. So, and that's just, I mean, that's what it is in this region, right? It's just they play a lot of basketball. So.
Tell us about the staff you've built. Did you bring on some new people, or did you keep some people from staff last year?
So yeah, so Micah Gubler has been coaching with me for a long time. So it's all through the little leagues and everything, but brought him on, and then Francie and John Homer have been around, been a part of Todd Langston's staff with me. They were there, and we brought them on, and then down younger we've got Jay Stewart and Chad Hughes with the sophomores, and they're basketball families, love to play basketball, and you know, Chad's got a boy on the team that's pretty good, and then down at the freshman level, we've got Caden Langston and Jace Langston. So Todd's boys are helping us coach there. So
it's in the blood.
Excited to have all those coaches on.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you're playing a lot of kids early in the preseason. What do you want your rotation to be, and when do you plan on trimming it down to that 8 or 9 man rotation?
You know, we were able to play all 15, I think, in the first 2 games just because we were able to get up so big. But we're definitely trimming that down to 8 or 9. So, and that's kind of where we're at right now. I think going into this stretch we're going into with the games we've got coming up, we've got, you know, 8 or 9 kids that'll play, but you know, and these boys will be on the floor as long as we can keep them on there. So as long as they're not too tired.
Talk about that stretch. You're going to see arguably 3 of the top teams from Cache Valley this weekend.
Yeah, tough, brutal schedule. We played them in the preseason, you know, Ridgeline and Green Canyon. We weren't at our full strength, so we don't feel like they've seen us at our best, especially the way we're playing now. But we're excited to go up there and see, because we feel like we can make a little bit of noise. So.
All right, Quinn, do you feel like that offense is going to travel out of the Tigers' Den up to Cache Valley?
Yeah, I do.
I love it.
Like we'll take it on them and score.
I love it. Guys, thanks for coming in. Any more questions for the guys?
I think we're good.
He's just planning on making buckets, man. He's a walking bucket. He's averaging 5.7. By the end of this weekend, he's going to be averaging 12.7.
There you go.
I love it. Coach, thanks for coming in. Thanks for bringing the boys in. The Hurricane Tigers, everybody, will be having a bunch of games on the Fan Sports Network throughout the upcoming season. We'll take a timeout. Lots more coming up, and we continue with our Region 9 Basketball Media Day right after this message from our great local partners.
Nets on Fire is the premier indoor basketball training facility in southern Utah with 4 full-size gyms and group and individual training packages available for every age and skill level. Nets on Fire can elevate your game. Hoop it, Nets.
We give you the green light. 4 seasons auto sales. Hook you up with some wheels. Drive on out of here. We give you the green light. Buy here, pay here.
Ledges Dermatology and Med Spa, specializing in general and cosmetic dermatology, treating acne, rashes, warts, and more. They even do cancer screenings and offer a free chemical pill with your first appointment. So if you need dermatology, think Red Ledges Dermatology, located just off Snow Canyon Parkway, St. George.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
I've got 15 seconds to list all the reasons that you should call Jason Baum at Bay Equity Home Loans. First-time home buyer specialist, down payment assistant loans, investment loans other guys haven't even heard of, reverse mortgages, and so many more to name before I run out of time.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross.
Red Rock Real Estate has over 200 professional realtors in the St. George area that specialize in the local market. Whether you're buying your dream home, looking for an investment property, or want to sell your home for the highest amount, the Red Rock Real Estate team is here to assist you. Get started now by visiting redrockrealestate.com.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Scooter's Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee. Anytime is a good time to sip and smile. Scooter's Coffee, open 7 days a week.
Welcome back to our 2023 High School Region 9 Basketball Media Day. It's so fun for us on the Fan Sports Network to get together with all the players and coaches from around the region and get you ready for the upcoming season. We're going to have over 40 games simulcast on the Fan and even more on the live stream on the fansportsnetwork.com starting this week. And next up, joining us on set here, Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave, the Desert Hills Thunder, and Coach Treg Holbrook representing the coaching staff. Coach Allred in class today, couldn't make it, but we're glad to have Coach Holbrook here. And then we've got Chase Curtis, we've got Jackson Holman, Eli Allred, and Ben Chase. We'll get to the players in a second, but Coach, if we can, let's start with you and
Tell us about the offseason and your overall preview for the Thunder coming into this season.
Yeah, it's been a great off season. Been some ups, some downs, but yeah, these guys have done a great job of getting ready. Our focus has really been on playing with pace and on both ends of the floor. I think these guys have bought into that, and I think we're ready to get after it.
Ready to get after it. Already one game under your belt. That was a nice season opener. You get a like a little 5-second leaner from Ben Chase over there to beat Canyon View, and it looked like your rotation was pretty deep. You guys got a pretty deep roster where you can go 8-9 deep.
We do, yeah. Still kind of filling that out, but we've got a lot of kids that can play. A lot of kids with some unique abilities that can help us out, and young. I mean, we've only got a couple kids with varsity experience coming in, but yeah, we've got some kids that play with confidence, and our practices are very competitive this year, much more competitive than we've had in the past. So I think that'll show out.
Where do you think your guys' identity is with this team? Are you guys a deep three shooting team? Are you guys a power it down low kind of a team? What are you, or maybe a defensive minded? Where do you feel like your strengths lie?
Yeah, so we a little different than years past. We don't really have those guys that can go create on their own maybe as much, but we've got phenomenal shooters, and we've got guys that are good high basketball IQ. So like I said, our emphasis is really on getting the ball up the court quick and then getting right into our action. So we've got a number of different actions that we can get into, try to create a small advantage, turn that small advantage into a big advantage, and then that usually leads to kick out threes, or we can play through. Chase does a great job of, he gets the ball down low, he's got great footwork, he sees the whole court, he knows where guys are, hits our cutters, and then Ben has a unique ability to just go create shots in difficult situations, and Eli is phenomenal at mid-range. He can score all three levels. I mean, he can get to the rim, mid-range, knock down the three. So we've just got a lot of good shooters, but we can mix it up a lot of different ways.
Well, one thing that I noticed in that game against Canyon View is you don't have that that Lemke in the middle. You don't have that 6'6", 6'7" guy that's going to dominate the paint, but you've got a lot of length everywhere else. Forwards, guards, a lot of 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" guys. Have you seen that as well? And is that your strategy, is to use that length as well?
Yeah, for sure. We, kind of figuring out, like last year we had a lot of physical guards. These guys aren't quite as physical, but the length is there. So trying to figure out how to blend that a little bit, get them to play a little more physical, especially just mentally be more physically tough, and so get a little bit of that. But then also, especially defensively, find ways to utilize our length so that we can take advantage of that. But yeah, it's definitely a different look than we've had in the past.
Yeah.
Desert Hills Thunder went 14-10 last year, winning season with 500, 6-6 in region play. Looking to do a little bit better than that. They were the number 7 seed, lost to Dixie in the quarterfinals. We know the Flyers went on to the state championship, and it kind of feels like everybody's chasing the Dixie Flyers again this year. Coach, before I get the players' take on the upcoming season, size up the rest of the region from your perspective.
Well, there's no question Dixie separated themselves. I mean, they've got a special class. I've watched those kids play since they were 2nd, 3rd grade. Coach Roberts is as good as anybody in the state, and he's really put a lot into this team. I mean, Lemke is special, obviously, but having a point guard like Jordan Roberts, I mean, that kid just sets the table. He always, if they're not shooting the ball well, which they usually do, he will make up for it. He'll figure out a way to get them into advantage situations. So yeah, they're phenomenal. But I'll tell you what, across the board, I mean, I know one of us is going to figure out how to get those guys, and after that, I mean, it really is. There's no gimmies this year across the board. Every team, a lot of new coaches this year, but these guys, are great coaches. Region 9 teams are really well coached. There's competitive kids. So this year is about as competitive across the board as I can remember in the past few years.
Kind of makes it exciting for us in the broadcast booth. Show up to a game, and who knows, it might be triple overtime. We'll have to wait and see. All right, we'll go back to Coach Holbrook in a minute, but let's bring in some of the players, and start with you, Chase. Tell me a little bit about your offseason, man. You played with the Ignite Summer League team. I heard you had a good summer. Getting ready for your year this year for the Thunder.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We went down to Vegas and California, played a lot of tournament. I've worked very, very hard this off season. Yeah.
Did you try to lose some weight? Have you tried to be quicker?
Yeah.
Coach just mentioned you're trying to be faster.
Yeah, that was big emphasis, just to be able to move quicker and more athletic, and yeah.
I saw you get down on the floor a couple times, some loose ball hustle plays. I like to see that, of the big guy going down on the floor, and that went over Canyon View the other night.
Yep, got to do that.
You don't want your dad on you at the end of the night when you get home.
No, I hate that.
Jackson, let's bring in Jackson Holman. Jackson, obviously you're the three-point specialist, but that's not all you can do. But this does seem like a team very capable of hitting a lot of threes in a given night.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys work on that in practice? Is the offense designed to get open looks for three?
Yeah, I mean, in practice, what it ultimately all comes down to is we're looking for those kickouts and getting buckets in the paint. So, I mean, we got a lot of guys who can get downhill, create for other people, getting a lot of good looks for a lot of our shooters. Gets us a lot of high-efficiency offense, makes it pretty good.
What's the off-ball movement look like for you guys? Because you guys do seem like you're a shooting team. I mean, just between you and Eli alone, I know you guys are fantastic shooters from seeing what you guys did last year and now returning into it. Is there a lot of off-ball movement that you guys work on?
Yeah, it's just, especially in offense, just always knowing where the ball is. When somebody drives, making sure we're cutting or occupying space, finding windows to get those kickouts or some slashes to the rim, getting easy layups or kick out threes.
Eli, I love your elbow pull-up shot. You get so high, and your release is so high. What is your favorite shot, though?
My favorite shot, I mean, probably my pull-up jumper.
Yeah.
I mean, when I need to get a shot off, or if we need to get a shot off, I feel like I can get it off about whenever. But yeah, I'd say it's probably my pull-up jumper.
Love it.
Ben Chase, game winner, first varsity start. You hit the game winner with under 5 seconds to go, man. How was your turkey? Taste a little better?
Oh yeah, it was much better.
Is Mason had a big influence on you? I know you guys are a few years apart in age.
Yeah, he really kind of. So my mom played basketball, so she brought it down to him, and then he picked it up, and he kind of made me interested in it. So that's kind of where my love for basketball started.
Have you beat him yet, one-on-one?
We haven't really played one-on-one, but we play like king of the court and stuff, and I get him a couple times.
All right.
There you go. Lefty, but hit 3 threes. Rasmussen's a three-point shooter. Jackson had 5 threes in that first game. Jackson, what would it mean to lead the region in 3 points made this year? Is that something that could be a lofty goal that you could maybe go for?
I think it's doable. We got a lot of good shooters in this region on our team, so it'd definitely be a fight, but I think it'd be doable.
Yeah. Eli, you think you can give Lemke a little run for his money in dunks made this year? You're gonna have to come and transition a little bit more.
We'll see. Haven't got one yet. Only one game in, but hoping I can get maybe a couple or whatever works.
Hey, Eli and Ben, both of you both kind of come from a volleyball family as well. With boys volleyball coming up in the spring, have you guys decided yet? You going to play a little volleyball?
My family really wants me to, but I don't think I'm going to do it.
Your sister was phenomenal.
Yeah, they've all been pressuring me to do it, but I think I'm.
Mason and Hunter Clark that can come off the bench. Keeping the turnovers low, is that something that you guys are emphasizing every day in practice? Because we know how this region play can get pretty physical, and a couple turnovers here and there can cost you a game from time to time.
Yeah, it's a balancing act because we don't want them thinking don't turn it over. We want them to play with some freedom, and really it's more about, like I said, getting, when you say play with pace, it's not just transition. It's, coming out of a dead ball. Playing with pace is hard cuts to the basket, setting up your cuts, setting good screens, moving with purpose, not dead dribbling, getting somewhere with the ball, that type of thing. So as long as they're, playing with intensity and focus and purpose, there's going to be some turnovers. It's the unforced ones that are tough and difficult to live with. But yeah, it's a little bit of a blend there.
Isn't it kind of crazy that you guys, the Thunder coaching staff, is now one of the veteran coaching staffs in the region now?
That's right. And, we've got a phenomenal
Yeah.
staff. It is a blast to go into practice. Every day it's like you go into practice, you're excited. We got great kids, but yeah, Coach Hoganson, Coach Allred is amazing. He does such a good job. I've never been involved with a game before Thanksgiving, so you're talking really quick. But Coach Allred does a great job. He's so efficient. He understands a little bit of that. We've got. Our gym isn't really available to us much in the month of December, but the good part of that is, so we're hitting the road. That's probably why he's not here today. He's got a lot of, we got a lot of road trips coming up. The cool thing about that is it gives us a chance to get on the road, bond with each other, and yeah, we've got some really good teams, and all on the road, so those will definitely build our character. And then we do get to come back and play. We get 3 games at home right before Christmas before we go up.
Coach
back
Walk
up to
Classic, yeah.
Riverton. So. Yeah, it's a good mixture, but mostly 4A schools, even a 5A school or 2. So, it should be a good preseason for us.
All right, that's going to wrap things up. The Desert Hills Thunder getting ready. Next game will be December 1st. That'll be coming up against Park City, the Miners up there. Might be snowy conditions, so travel safe up there, fellas. Guys, thanks for coming in. Thanks for representing the rest of your teammates. Coach Holbrook, thanks for bringing them in and filling in for Coach Allred. And we'll take a timeout. We're not done yet. Lots more coming up when we come back in our Region 9 Basketball Media Day coverage from Nets on Fire.
Own property and want to rent it? Then you need the right team with 11 years of local experience, a staff of over 25 employees, and a 4.9 Google rating. Aim to maximize your rental income and find quality tenants while keeping turnover low to increase your revenue and truly maintain your property. Learn more at redrockpropertymanagement.com. Relatives coming to visit, not enough room, or maybe you're looking to host a family reunion and need a house with a pool. Well, Red Rock Vacation Rentals has got you covered. From 2-bedroom condos to 10-bedroom luxury homes, they truly have something for everyone. Plan your perfect getaway or staycation. Visit St. George, Utah vacationrentals.com. The Fan Sports Network is your home for local sports. Catch The Drive with Devin Dixon from 7 to 9, and From the Bleachers with Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave from 4 to 6. Plus, Utah Tech and high school sports live on the radio and streaming on the fansportsnetwork.com.
Sullivan Homes is a fan favorite for homeowners in southern Utah. Their Just Right features come standard, and you always get quality construction and the Just Right home and commercial building experience. Visit sullivan-homes.com to make your dream home a reality. Nets on Fire is the premier indoor basketball training facility in southern Utah with 4 full-size gyms and group and individual training packages available for every age and skill level. Nets on Fire can elevate your game. Hoop it, Nets!
We give you the green light. 4 seasons out on sales. Hook you up with some wheels. Drive on out of here. We give you the green light. Buy here, pay here. You can apply online. Now it's time to ride.
Red Ledge's Dermatology and Med Spa, specializing in general knee rashes, warts, and more. They even do cancer screenings and offer a free chemical pill with your first appointment. So if you need dermatology, think Red Ledge's Dermatology, located just off Snow Canyon Parkway, St. George.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
I've got 15 seconds to list all the reasons that you should call Jason Baum at Bay Equity Home Loans. First-time home buyer specialist, down payment assistant loans, investment loans other guys haven't.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the.
Hello? cheesesteak?
Grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Welcome back, everybody. Our 2023-2024 basketball season is underway, and our Media Day coverage is underway. We're about halfway through. If you missed any of your favorite teams, you can go back and watch it on demand. But right now, we keep moving through. And Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave here live from Nets on Fire. And the Cedar Reds are in the building. Coach Monks and select members of the Reds team. And, Coach, let's start with you and bring us up to speed on the offseason. Give us an overall preview on how the Reds are going to do this year in your estimation in region play.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure some things out. You know, we've already played a couple and went up north and played Brighton and Harriman, two really good schools as we go along in the year. And, you know, our region's tough top to bottom. So we're going to come in and just compete as well as we can. And hopefully by the end of February, we're playing our best basketball.
8-14 last year, 3-9 in region. It was your first year. Now that you got a year under your belt, do you feel like this team has a chance to do a lot better than last year's team?
I mean, we can. Every year's a little different. Like, I'm not going to say that we're going to come in and win all these. We're not going to promise that. But I know that we're going to compete. We're going to be better on the defensive end of the floor. We got guys that can score. And so if we can limit our turnovers and, you know, rebound the basketball a little bit better than we have, I think we're going to be okay.
Now, you have a lot of guys that are coming back that were good, talented athletes from last season. Have these guys turned into leaders? And I know we got a bunch of them here with us today.
Yeah, so, you know, each one's taken their turn over the summer. You know, we maybe missed one or two every once in a while at a tournament because of a family thing, but that allowed other guys to step up and one guy to kind of take his turn as the guy in charge. And, you know, they did it right from the get-go at the end of last year. They knew kids that we had coming in, and they invited them to the gym, and those are the things we want to see. These kids that are seniors inviting the kids that are going to be sophomores and juniors to the gym with them and work out and get those in and just lead from the very beginning.
Coach, you're now number 3 seniority-wise in Region 9 coaches. But tell me the difference between Coach 1 Monks and Coach 2, going through the tryouts, going through the cut process. How was that in year 2?
Not a whole lot different for me. The thing is under Coach Esplin the last few years, he allowed me to do a lot of things. You know, as a head coach would, he was helping me out there. You know, and really this is between my assistant under Coach Brown at Snow Canyon and now at Cedar. This is year 15 for me in the region. So I've been around it a long time, you know, and so I had a lot of good guys to learn from. And obviously there's a few changes here and there that you want to do better, but there wasn't a ton of changes as far as what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and we're just trying to build a program at Cedar.
You feel like culture's in place in year 2 already for your first head coaching stint? You're so young into it, but do you feel like the culture's where you want it to be, or is there still room for growth?
There's still room for growth. Like, these kids probably did get a little bit of hit of, you know, we took a bigger change on defense. It's been our primary focus. You know, luckily having guys like Coach Stubbs, who was at Parowan for so long and known for his defense, having him on my staff, and Coach Esplin came back. You know, he missed the kids, and he's a defensive guy, you know, and so having those guys with their focus there and, you know, me being able to delegate a lot of those things, I think has helped me focus on a little bit more of the whole instead of just one side at a time. So
you've been on both sides of it, Coach, from, you know, your days at Snow Canyon as a player and then a coach, now to Cedar. What's the rivalry like in the region nowadays in hoops, man? I feel like it changes year to year, but there's some really great rivalries in our region.
There is. I mean, there's always something about some team that you want to beat them for that reason, right? And, you know, for us, we've played Desert Hills 3 straight years in the playoffs. You know, we get them in the state championship. We beat them the next year in triple overtime. They get us last year, right? Like, there's always that. You know, it's the Cedar-Dixie thing. I like beating Snow Canyon because I know everybody down there still, right? Like, and so there's always something. All my family still goes to Pineview, right? And so there's all those connections, and that's what makes, I think, our area so great, is there is those rivalries, but I think everybody respects each other. And so you get everybody's best fight, and at the end of the day, you can still shake hands and say, hey, we'll see you next time, and it's a good respect, so.
I'm assuming the players you brought or captains or leaders on the team. I'll let you introduce the players you brought with you today instead of me introducing them today. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, so we brought all 4 of our seniors. You know, we are young, but these are our 4 guys. We got Landon Kreitzer, Easton Albrecht, JT Jeter, and Parker Englebright. You know, JT's new to us this year, moved in. His dad's the head coach at SUU. The other kids have been in the program for 4 years. JT's going to be a big help, trying to get him back from football, but he's going to help us. But, you know, Easton Landon played a lot of time last year. Parker played a significant role with our JV, put a lot of time in this year, and so we've got some excitement for them. So,
Landon, you kind of got to take a scoring role on this year. Obviously, you scored it last year as an underclassman. You're kind of the main guy coming back that can score. You're one of those guys I think can score at all 3 levels. You said something you work on in practice or through the summer. And who did you play with in the summer? Did you play on the AAU circuit this summer?
Yeah, I did play on the AAU circuit this summer. I played with the Sousa team this year, and I was on it was like a little bit of the lower level team, but it was still really high competition. And we played in Vegas. We went to California a couple times, but yeah, very good competition.
Basketball never sleeps. It's the only sport you play is hoops.
Mm-hmm.
So you got time to put in the work.
A lot of time.
I love it. I love it. Well, with the emphasis on defense, how's that going from a player's perspective? The coach just talked about.
It's always hard. Defense is just hard. It's hard. We've emphasized that a lot this year, and it's just like taking on a new thing. So it's like a little bit new for us, but we're going through, and I think we're going to be a lot better at it this year.
What's the thing that you've been working on through the off season?
Personally, I had a lot of weight room this year. Got a lot of strength training in this year, and also just added more things to my bag, being able to create my shot more, and yeah.
Easton, going down to you, what have you worked on in the offseason? And then a 2-part question. We were just talking about rivalries in Region 9. Who do you like to beat the most?
In this offseason, I've been a lot of ball handling work, and same with Landon, a lot of strength training in the weight room. Being one of the smaller guys, that's been a big emphasis. But rivalries, it's always fun to win. I'll take a win against anyone, but there's always that extra fire against Desert Hills, like how Coach said we've met him in the state tournament a few years in a row now. But I'll beat anybody.
Okay.
We'll go up against anyone.
How much does that 58-54 loss to Desert Hills fuel you through the offseason, now getting into the season? That's got to be right there at the top of the memory bank.
Oh, yeah. It's fresh. It's always there, and it's good motivation. Getting in the gym and putting in extra work, it's always good. It's always there.
Bring in JT Jeter. JT, great football season. It's fun to watch you play. Where's your loyalties lie, football or basketball? I mean, is it split down the middle, or do you have a preference?
I'm probably more football now, but I've always played football and basketball growing up, so those are my 2 main sports.
Coming from a coaching family, your dad's longtime coach, now the SU head coach, do you talk more football with Dad, or do you talk more basketball with Dad when you're around the dinner table when you're not practicing?
It's a good mix. He's real supportive of me playing football, so we get a good mix in.
Do you feel like that transition from football over to basketball, do you feel like mentally it can take a little bit of time, or do you feel like, hey, you're ready, you're now locked into that basketball mode?
Yeah, it's a little transition, just getting my shot back going, handle and stuff, but I feel like athletically it translates pretty well on the defense side, so yeah.
And JT, as a broadcaster, as an announcer, you have one of the best names in Region 9. It just flows right off the tongue. So, again, thank you for that, JT Jeter.
Thank your parents for
Thank your mom.
And then, but also, too, tell us a little bit about your game. You're new to Region 9. What's your specialty? Defense, offense, three-point shooter, penetration? Talk to us.
I really take pride in my defense. I think I can do a good job shutting down players, and I'm definitely going to hopefully bring that this season. And I feel like offensively, my best is getting to the rim and just driving hard, drawing fouls, and just getting to the rim hard. So,
great.
When are you going to be healthy? You back this week?
Yeah, I'm back now.
What's the injury?
I had a high ankle sprain in the last football game of the season, and I had a torn ligament, so I just had to take time for that to heal. But it's good now, and now I'm just getting back in shape, and I'll be good here by the end of the week.
Yeah, football shape is different than basketball shape. It just is. You go for about 10 seconds to play in football, and you get a break for about 10 seconds.
Exactly, right.
In basketball, it's a different kind of conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many football players do you have on the team, Coach?
For our upperclassmen, just JT, really. We don't have any juniors that played football. Our sophomores, we've got 5 or 6. So there's 6, 7 kids, really, that we've got.
I want to go down on the end there to Parker. And Parker, tell me a little bit about this offseason as well. What are some of the things you work on? What do you bring to the table for the team?
A lot of weights, a lot of defensive training, getting my body right, ready to go for the season, So a lot of weight training and a lot of, just defensive skills. I feel like we worked a lot on, speed and agility to help us on the defensive end. And what I bring to the table, I feel like I bring a lot of toughness and a lot of defensive ability.
What's one of the toughest matchups in Region 9 that you faced up individually?
Individually, I'd have to say Dixie's always tough. You know,
Yeah.
they're big. Snow Canyons, they're big too. Those are probably some of the two toughest, I feel like, individually. But
Parker, is it any motivation that you guys are, picked down and towards the bottom of the region this year? Does that fuel the fire at all for you and your teammates, being the only 4 seniors on the team?
it definitely does, yeah. We chip on our shoulder, going into the season, being picked bottom. But, yeah, we can handle adversity. We're ready for it.
I feel like there's a lot of pride in Cedar basketball. Like
There is. It's been so, that's one thing, like having Coach Esplin around, like someone that's been there so long that it means something to him and he can express that to our kids. It's one of the oldest schools around, and so there is a lot of tradition, and it means something still to the community. You still get a lot of community support with only 2 schools. We don't have 5 schools like there is in St. George, and yeah, there's great community support down here, but when it's just one and it's named after the city, it still brings a lot of pride to those around.
Canyon View coming up next. That rivalry still alive and well?
Yeah, it is.
You got Kim and Branson on the bench now. We got some old Falcons that are coaching over there. That's going to be December 1st coming up this weekend. That's going to be fun.
Should be a good one. Yeah, play them their place Friday night. It's always the most packed, loudest game of the year, and it'll be fun.
Do they let your band come over there when it's over there?
They should, but they don't. Sadly.
No room in the nest for the Cedar band.
Played at SUU is what we think we should do.
Yeah.
Let both fans come. I think it would be great, but we haven't figured that one out yet.
Yeah. Maybe.
Football's moving that way. I do know that much.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, you guys did that this last year for football, if I remember right?
It was the COVID year.
Oh, was it? Because
Yeah.
I remember there's some issues with Canyon View Field at one point.
That was the Canyon View Pine View football game.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. But that'd be awesome. I mean, I know that obviously down here in St. George we see a lot of those intertown rivalries. Is there a lot of bleed over between these two boundaries between Canyon View and Cedar that makes this game that much more special?
I wouldn't say there's a ton. No, I mean, we've got about 100 kids that live in their boundaries that come to Cedar High, and there's about 50 kids in Cedar boundaries that go to Canyon View. So there's not a ton. It's the crosstown game, and in the summer you end up playing each other and you know everybody, and it just adds a little bit to it. So
Cedar at Canyon View on Friday night, and then Bear River, Logan, Skyview, the defending state champs, should help you with your RPI with some of these early season games if you can get some wins against some of these teams.
yeah, that's we didn't put a cupcake on our schedule.
Coach Monks, the Cedar Reds, guys, have a safe, successful season. Thanks for coming down, representing the rest of your teammates and the town and all the Reds fans out there. And we got to take a break. But we're not done yet. A couple more teams to get to when our Region 9 Media Day continues right after this.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross.
Red Rock Real Estate has over 200 professional realtors in the St. George area that specialize in the local market. Whether you're buying your dream home, looking for an investment property, or want to sell your home for the highest amount, the Red Rock Real Estate team is here to assist you. Get started now by visiting redrockrealestate.com.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Scooter's Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee. Anytime is a good time to sip and smile. Scooter's Coffee, open 7 days a week.
Own property and want to rent it? Then you need the right team with 11 years of local experience, a staff of over 25 employees, and a 4.9 Google rating. Aim to maximize your rental income and find quality tenants while keeping turnover low to increase your revenue and truly maintain your property. Learn more at redrockpropertymanagement.com. Relatives coming to visit, not enough room, or maybe you're looking to host a family reunion and need a house with a pool. Well, Red Rock Vacation Rentals has got you covered. From 2-bedroom condos to 10-bedroom luxury homes, they truly have something for everyone. Plan your perfect getaway or staycation. Visit St. George, Utah, vacationrentals.com.
Welcome back, Nets on Fire, our host of our 2023-2024 high school basketball media day coverage, and the teams just keep rolling in. We're down to 2 left, and now joining us on set, the Pineview Panthers, and another first-year head coach, but not a new coach. He's had some pretty good stints with guys like Mark Pope and Norm Parrish. Patrick Amico, welcome to the set. And it's actually funny because Patrick and I were working together when we started these media days for high school basketball, and he had a big implementation and part and role in that and making these a reality. Now you're sitting on the other side of the desk, Coach.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Thanks for having us. And gosh, what was that, 10, 12 years ago?
It's been a while.
We had the idea to do this for these kids.
Yep.
It's a great opportunity for them, for you guys to get to know them, but mainly for them, right, to have the spotlight on them because it's their story. It's what it's all about.
We'll get to the guys in just a second, but you know the drill. Give us an overall preview for the Panthers for the upcoming season.
Really exciting. A little bit nervous, right, just going through running your own program. There's so much, I feel, really bad for a lot of the guys I've worked with in the past, whether it's been Coach Parrish, who probably gets a call daily. I talk to Coach Pope, I try at least once a week, and then the assistant coaches that I got to know so well with Coach Burgess up at Utah and then Coach Vieger at BYU. I'm hitting them up all the time, just asking them questions. How did we do this drill? What did we do here? And as these guys will tell you, I'm always worried that we're not running enough and in shape. So we'll see. The college level, they say that we're enough. These guys seem to think we're running enough. So, but excited. We have a really good group. I think seniors are special. I think it's hard in high school to keep a lot of seniors because when they're on your bench, they get, they could get sideways. There could be a cancer, but not with this group. But I really believe seniors are special. Like, they've been through it. We don't call it just practice those first 2 weeks. It was training camp. Like, these dudes ran a ton. They got after it really hard, and they've been through the battles in Region 9 because this conference is region's like no other region in the state of Utah.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, it is the toughest by far, and we're excited to get after it.
Now, I know Adam obviously was playing football, but with the rest of these guys, you feel like everybody's already in shape, ready to go?
I think they get a little better. They think they're good, but yeah, we're as good as we're going to be. I mean, we get after it right away tonight, which is tough because we've had 5.5, 6 days off with the moratorium. And then we had practice yesterday, but you could only go so long with games on back-to-back nights. So that's what's thrown at us, so we're ready to go.
I asked Coach Ball and Coach Stout, 2 of the other first-year coaches, how did tryouts go, and how was it making your first cuts?
Those are hard, right, because these kids have dreams of playing at not just Pineview High School, but on to other levels as well, and that's really hard. Principal Meese came to me and he's like, love what you're doing a great job. And I was like, I haven't cut anybody's kid yet. Just wait. I'll be the most hated person in Washington County here in a few days. So it was really hard because those kids, it was tough. I mean, there were a lot of conversations with our staff of what to do. There were a lot of kids on the bubble at all levels. I know we didn't have the turnout, say, as down the road at Crimson, or I've heard they had really good turnout. I mean, we cut 3 or 4, I think, at the varsity JV level, a couple sophomores and 5 or 6 freshmen. And so we're trying to build those numbers back up through our youth program, but for what we have now is just really hard because you don't want to hurt those kids.
What's the identity of a Coach Amico team? Defense, offense, transition?
I think these boys could tell you, but we're going to try to play really fast, and we're going to shoot it. We're going to get up and down the floor and shoot a lot of threes and see if that translates to the high school level. You know, analytically, they say that's what translates in college and the NBA. I haven't seen a lot of high school teams play like that. There are a few. So we're going to try to get up the floor, shoot a lot of threes, and try to get stops on the other end.
Good.
Miami Panthers 6-16 last year under Coach Ryan Eves, 5th in the region, 5-7 the region record. 2 returning starters. Let's talk to those guys now. We'll start with you, Nash. Hoops, man, it's time. Senior season. How do you like playing for Coach Pat so far?
I love it. It's been a grind so far, but it's been like a good grind. It's been exciting, and I'm very excited to play tonight. So.
Summer was good. Feel like you got a lot of games under your belt?
Yeah, we got a lot of games under our belt. We didn't get them till when?
Gosh, I started late.
Like June-ish. But like right from the get-go, you could tell it was different, and it was a good change, and we're ready to go. So.
Now, you've always played a big leadership role on this team last season and coming now into this season. That leadership role continues on. Do you feel like it's been heightened a little bit more now as you are now not just an underclassman?
Yeah, I mean, it's always kind of tough to, like, be a leader to older guys because, like, you look up to them and they're older and they're alpha or whatever. But being a senior, it's like you kind of have no choice but to be that guy and be that good example and that leader to your underclassmen.
Griffin, I'm going down to you. How's the mid-range jumper coming along? How's the three-point jumper coming along? Because your hair game right now is off the charts awesome.
It's pretty good. I think as a team we probably need to get more shots up, but that'll come as the season goes.
But Coach Amico's identity for you guys, being fast, getting a lot of shots up, that's got to play right into your hands.
Yeah.
You seem enthused about it. I'm digging it.
You're putting pressure on him.
I know.
It's the humble confidence, though, right? I mean, is that what it is? Because I know, you seem like a humble guy, but I've seen you play out on the court, man, and you're confident when you get the ball in your hands. So I know that once that game starts, once tip-off is going, you become a beast. And what's that mentality like when you're out there with the ball in your hand?
I mean, I guess it's just doing what, like, taking the shots that is smart, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. And just like doing what it takes to win, I guess.
And he's really helped. Like this fall, we had a great fall league. Coach Winters put together here at Nets, and we got to play in a couple team camps as well and other tournaments. But like these guys, I mean, they can both score it at all 3 levels. They can get it done. So hopefully that style really just fits Griff's game, and we think it does as a coaching staff. And we stat practices, and when we scrimmage, we have some games, and it's like, wow, he just scored the last 14 points, and it looks like he's done nothing, right? And that's Griffin Shepard.
Yeah.
He's going to get it done quick, and he can score in bunches.
Love it.
Bring in Trevor. Trevor, I didn't realize you were so tall. You walked into the room, and are you 6'8", 6'9"? What do you list you?
6'9".
6'9".
Yeah.
Okay. You come from a basketball family?
Not really. Just a lot of height in my family, but that's about it.
So. Okay. How much fun are you having right now through training camp?
Blast. I was hurt last year, so I'm glad to be back this year. So it's gonna be exciting to see.
Yeah. What happened last year?
I broke my wrist first game against Snow Canyon. So.
That's why we didn't see you very much throughout the season. You got a little hidden weapon in Trevor Condi, Coach?
Oh, absolutely. Trev, he's not like a lot of bigs in this region that I've seen, but he can really step out and shoot the three. So we'll be able to go 5 out. We'll be able to space the floor with him. He's a lot. Again, he's unique for down here with 6'9", can shoot the 3 ball, can go in. We want him to battle a little more inside, but he's getting that. Again, I'm probably asking a ton from these boys, right? They're just 16, 17, 18-year-olds, but they're starting to figure it out. They've been so receptive, and I can get after Trev, and he takes it like a champ and just rolls with it.
Trev, you going to be able to throw it down a few times?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
stand on your tippy toes.
If there was a dunk contest at Pineview High, did you guys do a dunk contest preseason? If you did, would you win it? Or
I think that's Griffin, honestly.
Griffin would win it?
He can throw out some nasty dunks.
Okay. Jelani would have no chance.
No, he'd be close. He'd be close.
He'd be in the mix.
Yeah, he'd be in the mix.
Adam, that transition from football, we always get some football players going from football to basketball. That first 4 or 5 weeks of the season were unbelievable. Then it started to look like a grind over there, playing quarterback a little bit the second half of the season once you get in region play. But bumps, bruises all gone. You ready for hoops?
Yeah, I'm ready. When I got back, it was like, dang, I'm so out of shape.
It's a different shape, huh?
Oh, yeah, and we had like 20 plays I didn't know at all. It was like just, you can definitely change, you can tell the change in coaching and how we're going to play this year.
20 plays, how quick did you catch up? That's the question.
Oh, no, he's a quarterback. He has them all down. There is no worry at all.
You come from a basketball family, though. Like, all your brothers played at Pineview.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hoops kind of runs through the Moore family a little bit.
I guess.
Yeah, any pressure with all those older brothers? You got a younger brother, too, I think, too, but.
Yeah, not a lot of pressure, because, I mean, they help me out a lot, so it's easy.
What's your game, Adam? What's your specialty?
I'm normally a shooter, but I also get out in transition pretty well.
Now,
Last year as well.
Last year, you had a good role coming off the bench, and you definitely were that guy. You hit a lot of those corner threes and things like that. What's your role like now that you're stepping into a little bit of a bigger role here?
I definitely feel a lot more confident this year. I take the shots that I normally take, and yeah, I just play better.
And with these guys, the one thing that, they probably get yelled at all the time, maybe not Trev so much, a little bit, is like, shoot it. They're open. They're on that court. We're trusting these guys. I believe in them. I know they're going to knock it down. If they miss it, oh, well, let's make the next one. So I think, Adam, the last couple of days, I've just been yelling, shoot, I guess Monday and Wednesday. Like, shoot it. You're open. You don't have to pass that up. I get, we want to try to go quick. We want to have more possessions at the end of this game. That's the goal. So, yeah, they're big-time shooters, and Adam's one of them.
Now, boys, if you hear anything at all today, take this in, okay? Get Coach Amico's wife, Jen, in your back pocket.
Oh, they already do.
Okay, you get her in your back pocket, and I can guarantee you have somebody in your corner that you want in your corner. So, definitely.
Let's talk schedule for a second, Nash. What do you think of the preseason schedule? You like it? You get Canyon View tonight, Ridgefield, who's got a good team this year, maybe one of the best 3A teams out there. Logan, Skyview, the defending state champs in a week or two. So you got some good preseason games.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think tonight will be kind of like a you'll kind of see where the season's going to go. I think it'll show a lot of how the season's going to go, and hopefully it goes our way, definitely. But I'm definitely excited for the preseason schedule, and I haven't paid too much attention to it because, I don't know, it's just show up and play kind of, but we'll be ready for whatever team. So,
you get any offers?
None official, no, but talking to a few coaches, yeah.
You gonna play baseball this year?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Wes Minnie likes him a lot up there, so I know Coach Pears had him up and wants him. They're trying to work something out, but there'll be more coming, and I think for the other two gentlemen next to him as well.
Are we going to see a fast-paced game tonight? Then it sounds like we are. It's going to be up in the 80s.
Yeah.
You going to try to play in the 80s tonight?
I hope they don't get into the 80s, but we'd like to get up there. That schedule, Coach Eves, gosh, he put together a heck of a schedule to go on we practiced Wednesday morning because we had guys going out of town, so basically 6 days off in a row. We go yesterday, but we can't go super hard because we have games Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, back-to-back against Canyon View, who's going to be a top 5 3A team by the end of it. And then Richfield, who's number 1 or 2 in 3A, depending where you look. And Richfield, they've played 3 games. We'll be their 4th game, and they have a couple days rest to prepare where we'll have film at lunchtime. So that schedule will be really tough. But that's what we want, right? We want to see if you have to play in Region 9 and try to win a region championship, you can't just play a bunch of schools that you're going to walk over. Yeah. So we're trying to play a tough schedule. But, no, hopefully we get up close to the 80s and we can hold them in the low 50s. That means we won by a lot, and we'll be able to rest some guys for tomorrow.
What will the you going to go deep, 8, 9 tonight, or does it depend on time and score, obviously?
A lot of it will depend. I tell them all the time I want them in shape like we're only going to play 6, 7 guys, probably 7 guys. But we can go, I feel comfortable going 10, 11 deep. We have some good good young help off the bench. We've got some senior leadership off the bench. So I feel like if we have to, if guys are in foul trouble, we can go 10, 11. But if they're not in foul trouble, we're going to just ride them and run with it.
Sounds like we're going to get a lot of Holbrook asphalt big score desserts.
I love it.
With Pineview.
I love it. The Pineview Panthers, everybody, Coach Pat and the guys. Guys, thanks for coming in. Have a safe, successful season. Thanks for representing the rest of your teammates. And, Coach, as always, thanks for coming by. And we got to take a break. We're not done yet. One more team to get to. And then after the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs join us, we'll have our all-region preseason awards. So stick with us as our coverage continues right after this, live from Nets on Fire.
The Fan Sports Network is your home for local sports. Catch The Drive with Devin Dixon from 7 to 9. And From the Bleachers with Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave from 4 to 6. Plus, Utah Tech and high school sports live on the radio and streaming on the fansportsnetwork.com.
Sullivan Homes is a fan favorite for homeowners in southern Utah. Their Just Right features come standard, and you always get quality construction and the Just Right home and commercial building experience. Visit sullivan-homes.com to make your dream home a reality. Nets on Fire is the premier indoor basketball training facility in southern Utah with 4 full-size gyms and group and individual training packages available for every age and skill level. Nets on Fire can elevate your game. Hoop it, Nets.
We give you the green light. 4 seasons auto sales. Hook you up with some wheels. Drive on out of here. We give you the green light. Buy here, pay here. You can apply online. Now it's time to ride.
Red Ledges Dermatology and Med Spa, specializing in general and cosmetic dermatology, treating acne, rashes, warts, and more. They even do cancer screenings and offer a free chemical pill with your first appointment. So if you need dermatology, think Red Ledges Dermatology, located just off Snow Canyon Parkway, St. George.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
I've got 15 seconds to list all the reasons that you should call Jason Baum at Bay Equity Home Loans. First-time home buyer specialist, down payment assistant loans, investment loans other guys haven't even heard of, reverse mortgages, and so many more to name before I run out of time.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Oh, cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to our 2023-2024 high school basketball Region 9 Media Day coverage here live from Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court. Appreciate Nets. If you want to learn more, get your kids with some training packages, go to their website, netsonfire.org. Our final team joining us on set, Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave, the Fan Sports Network team. We'll ask the questions, Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. And we told you when we got going, 4 first-year head coaches, but not a stranger to coaching. Coach Murdoch joining us now. And, Coach, tell us a little bit about becoming the coach, taking over for Coach Fairborn and that process, and then give us an overall preview for the Mustangs this year.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride, with Coach Fairborn leaving, but it's been enjoyable. So yeah, I've been coaching for a while and had a good run with Coach Winters and Coach Fairborn at Crimson Cliffs, and so I'm excited to get going and get these guys rolling, hopefully, right? So yeah, it's been a good process so far. It's been a coach for a long time, but we'll get used to it. It's good.
Tell us about tryouts. We know you had some football players play deep. Who'd you get? Who didn't come back out?
So the only football players that tried out were Steele Barbin and Noah Nilsson. So they're with us this year. So the guys decided not to play this year. So those are our football players coming back. And so we're excited to have them and have them be a part of our team. So.
Tell me a little bit about your guys' identity this year. What are you looking at as a team? Defense, offense? Are you a three-point team? Are you drive to the basket? What are you looking at?
So one thing we want to definitely focus on this year is what we do well. We talk about it all the time is we like to get out and run. So you're going to look for us to kind of get out and push the ball in transition and get some easy buckets. We got Sean down there inside, so we really have to get the ball down there in the post as much as possible and go through him. But we also got great guards, and forwards, and I think we can do a lot of damage doing things like that. So
I asked the other first-year coaches this question. You went through your tryouts. How was it doing your first cuts as the head coach?
It was any time you have cuts, it's always hard. This is my 18th year coaching high school basketball, so it's not anything unusual for me. But it's definitely it's hard when you have to cut those kids the first time. But just part of the process, and we keep rolling. So.
What's the rotation look like? I mean, we saw a little glimpse of it last night. You guys played Layton Christian. Is that what we're going to probably see throughout the year, or was that the first game, so you're trying some different things?
Yeah, just the first game. I mean, the starters will probably remain intact, so you'll probably see those 5 on the floor to start, every game. And then, with Steele and Noah just coming back from football, they're kind of getting their feet wet with basketball, and so we had some of the younger guys kind of fill in a little bit last night. But yeah, for the most part, we'll get those those seniors in and a little bit of some JV guys get some playing time. But yeah, we're definitely young. We're not deep in our bench, but I think those guys can contribute and help us out this year.
Let's go to the players. Let's bring in the players here. We got Scoop, Trevor, and Sean. And Scoop, let's start with you, man. Excitement. Let's start with just excitement for that game last night, man. Now that it's one game under the belt, excitement for the season, I'm sure it's still sky high.
Oh yeah, that game was crazy. That atmosphere definitely got us ready, because that was probably one of the craziest stadiums we've played in. So
is it just loud? Is it just
so
packed?
Loud. Everyone's yelling at us. You take the ball out, they're all up in your head. Yeah, it was crazy, but it was super fun, and I think that got us ready. So I'm excited.
I know your name's Luke, but where did Scoop come in?
Scoop?
Yeah, is there a backstory there? You like ice cream as a kid or something?
No, it does have something to do with ice cream, though. Jackson McCone, I think you guys know Jackson McCone. People say I looked like him, or Fairborn said I looked like him, which I don't agree with, but they called him Coner, and so they started calling me like Small Cone, Small Scoop, and Fairborn just kind of took it to Scoop, so it stuck. I like it, so.
It's a great nickname. I just wondered what the backstory was there.
That's it.
Because I even started calling you that during the broadcast last year. It feels like everybody's just. Does anybody call you Luke except for Mom?
Really. Kind of just my family. That's it.
I was just going to ask if that's also bled over into your family as well, if your parents are starting to call you Scoop as well.
Yeah, I don't think they warmed up to it yet, but we'll see.
Let's bring in Trevor. Trevor, what's your nickname? You got a nickname?
They call me Too Crazy. Too Crazy is the nickname.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been well earned.
Yeah.
I like
Very
that.
well.
I like that. Excitement level for you, man. I mean, getting that first game under your belt last night, how'd it feel?
It felt really good. It was kind of just the opening to our season. We have a lot to come. I feel like we're going to be really good this season, and that was just a start to it. We're going to keep improving, and we'll look forward to it.
You're taking on a bigger role this year, a little bit more responsibility. What does that feel like for you heading into the season?
I'm super ready for it. It's something I've looked forward to. I've worked hard for. I'm excited to grow with these guys. We have a really good team, and I feel like I've gotten better every year with the coaching, with the team. So it's going to be fun playing with my seniors for the last time, and I'm excited for it.
Trevor, you say you've worked hard. What have you done in the off season to improve your game?
A lot. Lifting has been a big thing for me. Coming as a sophomore, freshman, dressing varsity, I wasn't always the strongest out there. Everyone kind of catches up with you the higher you get, so lifting has been a big thing. I've worked a lot with reach higher too, and just being with the team growing together has also been big this summer.
You going to throw a few down this season?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
For sure.
We'll see if Big Sean has something to say about that. He might gobble up some of those dunks, Trav. Big Sean, what are you 6'9" right now with shoes on? 6'10"?
6'11".
6'11".
Yeah.
Tallest guy in Region 9.
Yep.
Okay.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about last night. You had to go some good big post players. You had 17 points. How's that battle test you for region games against guys like Condi and Lemke and some of the bigs in this region?
I think it was a good icebreaker for our team. It was good to play against some players I'm not used to playing against, and definitely some bigger bodies. They weren't the tallest of bigs I played against, but they were strong. So it's good. It's good to play against, tall, big, strong, because everything, to get used to playing just against different players like that.
We've talked a lot with different players that came over from playing football, and we talked about the difference of football shape and basketball shape. What's the difference between basketball shape and golf shape for you?
There's a lot of walking in golf for sure. So it's kind of
maybe not as intense as basketball.
Not as intense for sure. Yeah.
Sean, what's the individual matchup that you look forward to in Region 9?
I think I have to say Kyle Lemke.
Yeah.
That's going to be a matchup for sure. I can't wait to guard him. We played on the same AU team the whole summer. Got a great friendship with him, and I just love playing against those guys. I'm excited to play them.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works, right? You battle your tail off against him, and then in the summer you're teammates, and then you got to go battle against him again in the fall and the winter.
Exactly.
But it's kind of one big region. I know there's rivalries. Who do you feel like Crimson's still the new kids on the block, still the new school? Do you feel like you've got a rivalry with somebody already though that's really developed? Because Desert Hills and Pineview kind of got rated, I felt like it was kind of natural with Desert Hills, especially early. Has that changed, Coach? You can answer this question if you like.
I think still Desert Hills. I think Desert Hills and Dixie are if you asked us, would probably be our biggest rivalries that we're kind of looking forward to this season.
Size up the rest of the region, though. It seems like, Dixie's here, and granted, they deserve to be here, but then everybody else, it could be wide open behind them.
Yeah, Pineview's definitely improved this year with their seniors, Griff and Nash. You always SoCan's always deadly with Owen and their new guys. So, yeah, it's wide open really. Second, third, fourth place. There'll be 4 or 5 teams battling for position this season. So, it'll be a good challenge for us.
What have you done different now that you've been the head coach compared to what Coach Winters or Coach Fairborn were doing? Have you made some changes culture-wise, instilled some new things?
Not really. Culture-wise, no. I think Coach Winters gave just established a great foundation for the school, so kind of kept rolling with that. We kind of just changed up a lot of our offenses, defensive schemes, things like that, kind of just to for what we have as a team. We're not as big as what we used to be, so we kind of switch things up, kind of put opponents on their toes, and hopefully they can.
Any underclassmen we need to keep our eyes on? Maybe any surprises?
I would say we have sophomore McKay Lindquist. He started for us last night. He continued to start for us. He's definitely improved his game. He's played well. He's a good contributor with these guys. He's definitely one underclassman that will contribute a lot this year for our team.
Was he the only one that hit 3 in the game last night? Did you guys only have those 2 threes from McKay?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that a concern? You guys don't have more threes right out of the gate?
Not really. It's one game. I'm not too concerned about how many threes that we're shooting and stuff. I know it's definitely part of a game that we need to work on. But if we're in transition a lot and doing what we should be doing, we don't have to really worry about that. So.
Sean, you want to lead the region in double-doubles this year? Is that a goal?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Team goals? Do you guys have team goals, Trev? You guys talked about?
One of our biggest goals this year is defensively. We're working hard for tips and charges a lot this year. So those will be something you'll see us try and strive in.
Scoop, what about you? How's the stash game coming along?
You guys noticed?
Just barely, by the way. We just barely noticed.
Yeah, just barely. I don't know if my family likes it yet, but I think the boys do. So
I'm keeping it for a while. We'll see what happens.
Anybody else going to join in the stash game? Sean, Trev?
You might see it later on the season.
Okay.
I hope not. Maybe just a little
Coach Murdoch says no.
I love it. The Crimson Cliffs. Final questions, guys?
I think.
Mustang schedule. Coach, real quickly, the schedule. I mean, Layton Christian, and then talk about the rest of the preseason schedule.
Yeah, we got Mountain View this Thursday, Cypress at home on Saturday, and then we go up to Sky Ridge and play a tough Farmington team Thursday night, and then after that, Coach Walker. We got Ridgeline and a few others that will be really, really good tests for us in the preseason, and then Dixie at home right before Christmas break. So,
is it good to get the Flyers early on that first region game?
If you're asking my personal opinion, no. I wish we would have played them in January, but you know what? It is what it is, and we'll be ready. So.
Love it. The Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Coach, thanks for bringing the guys in. Guys, safe, successful season. Thanks for coming by, representing the rest of your teammates and all the Crimson fans out there. High expectations now. Golf's winning state, baseball's winning state, football's winning state, and basketball going to win state. I guess we'll have to stay tuned to find out on the Fan Sports Network. We're going to have a ton of Crimson games all year long for you on the network. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, the preseason awards, all region. We'll tell you who has tabbed the MVP in the media and coaches vote, so stick around. Not done yet.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross.
Red Rock Real Estate has over 200 professional realtors in the St. George area that specialize in the local market. Whether you're buying your dream home, looking for an investment property, or want to sell your home for the highest amount, the Red Rock Real Estate team is here to assist you. Get started now by visiting redrockrealestate.com.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Scooter's Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee. Anytime is a good time to sip and smile. Scooter's Coffee, open 7 days a week.
Own property and want to rent it? Then you need the right team with 11 years of local experience, a staff of over 25 employees, and a 4.9 Google rating. Aim to maximize your rental income and find quality tenants while keeping turnover low to increase your revenue and truly maintain your property. Learn more at redrockpropertymanagement.com. Relatives coming to visit, not enough room, or maybe you're looking to host a family reunion and need a house with a pool. Well, Red Rock Vacation Rentals has got you covered. From 2-bedroom condos to 10-bedroom luxury homes, they truly have something for everyone. Plan your perfect getaway or staycation. Visit stgeorgeutahvacationrentals.com. The Fan Sports Network is your home for local sports. Catch The Drive with Devin Dixon from 7 to 9, and From the Bleachers with Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave from 4 to 6. Plus, Utah Tech and high school sports live on the radio and streaming on thefansportsnetwork.com.
Sullivan Homes is a fan favorite for homeowners in southern Utah. Their Just Right features come standard, and you always get quality construction and the Just Right home and commercial building experience. Visit sullivan-homes.com to make your dream home a reality. Nets on Fire is the premier indoor basketball training facility in southern Utah with 4 full-size gyms and group and individual training packages available for every age and skill level. Nets on Fire can elevate your game. Hoop it, Nets!
We give you the green light. 4 seasons auto sales. Hook you up with some wheels. Drive on out of here. We give you the green light. Buy here, pay here. You can apply online. Now it's time to ride.
Red Ledges Dermatology and Med Spa, specializing in general and cosmetic dermatology, treating acne, rashes, warts, and more. They even do cancer screenings and offer a free chemical pill with your first appointment. So if you need dermatology, think Red Ledges Dermatology, located just off Snow Canyon Parkway, St. George. Back, everybody. Glad you're with us. Hope you enjoyed the coverage as we got to sit down and talk with all of our Region 9 coaches. 4 new ones that stood out. Obviously, a lot of new coaches in the region. Some that have a lot of great experience, though. And we welcome you back to the final segment here for our tally segment and reaction segment. Devin, Caden, and now joining us, Casey Winters here of Nets on Fire, longtime coach in the region. Casey, I want to start with you. Just your overall impressions on the upcoming season, what you heard today.
Yeah, excited to get going. It was great being able to kind of stand in the background there and listen to all these coaches and players talk about their summers and the preseason, some of their goals and expectations and the excitement. It's always an exciting time when a new season is going, and we're here for it. And I think, as you listen to the coaches and the players, I think they're all expecting, great things. And I think as you look at the region, I think the respect is there for the Dixie Flyers as it should be. And I think everyone's hoping to be able to catch them, one night, maybe on an off game and be able to sneak out a win. And then I think, after that, it's wide open. And there's going to be a lot of competitive games. A lot of these players have been playing against each other for a long time. It's going to be interesting to see what some of these new coaches do strategy-wise, where you're used to Coach Meacham or, Coach Eves and some of these coaches that have been around, and now you got some new blood in there. It's going to be interesting to see, how some of these teams change from what we're used to seeing.
It's kind of interesting. You look at the new coaches, and the cupboard's not bare for these new coaches.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, if you were Coach Ball and you're walking into a squad with Owen Mackey, I mean, you can't ask for anything more. And same with Coach Murdoch at Crimson Cliffs and, Coach Pat, having Griff and Nash, as seniors after they've had 3 years of solid experience. I think all of them should be extremely grateful for what they have.
Caden, I wonder, did you get the impression scoring might be up a little bit? We had half the coaches talking defense and half the coaches talking offense. I don't know if the scoring is going to be up or down this year.
And I don't know, but the coaches definitely had a theme amongst them, and that was they want to play fast. And when you're playing with these high school kids, they got a lot of energy inside of them, so why not play fast? And I think a lot of these coaches are understanding that that's a strength that you have when you're playing at this level. So might as well, right? And there are some great three-point shooters across the board. So, I like it. I liked what Coach Amico specifically, he was the one talking about that, hey, it's statistically, it's good to shoot some threes. So we're probably going to see some good three-point shooting. Could lead to some higher scoring games.
Yeah, going to be fun. All right, we had all the coaches vote. Had all the media vote over with our Fan Sports Network and our St. George News sports reporters. We had a big group vote. Caden, I'll turn the time over to you. Let's unveil the preseason polls and preseason all-region teams.
Absolutely. So for the preseason rankings for the teams, we'll go starting at the very top. Dixie Flyers, of course, coming in as the number one. Their consensus number one. Not a single number 2 vote for Dixie. They were clearing away the number 1 team. Followed by Snow Canyon at 2. Crimson Cliffs was 3. Pineview 4. Desert Hills 5. Cedar 6. And Hurricane 7. And I will say that middle group right there was a tight vote. There's a lot of teams there that they rotated through kind of the 2, 3, 4 spot between Snow Canyon, Crimson, and Pineview, and even Desert Hills sneaking in some of those votes as well. But it's going to be interesting. I don't think that this preseason poll is going to reflect what the outcome actually is by the end of the season. I think that there's going to be a lot of good competition, so we'll see.
Yeah. I think it'll be tight. I mean, and you heard the coaches when we asked them, hey, size up the rest of the region. I mean, some coaches pick this team or that team. And the matchups, Coach, you've been coaching this region, matchup to matchup, scheme to scheme. There's going to be some nights where anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, as a coach, that's what you're looking at, right, is who we match up with well. I know when I was at Crimson, Pineview was always a tough matchup, with, the Moore boys, and you had Tavian Shepard, and you had Griff, and you had Benson, and they were always just a tough matchup. And so I think there are some games as we go into them, you're going to say, hey, this team is a clear-cut favorite. They have whether it's the size or the shooting or the speed or the defense or whatever it may be. And then I think there's going to be several games on the schedule where it's just a coin flip. It's a toss-up. It's going to be who can make the most shots. It's going to be who can get to the free throw line. It's going to be who can stay out of foul trouble. It's going to be who's healthy at the time, because there are just some even matchups across the board.
And everybody's looking at Cedar. They played 2 games. They lost a couple games, but they didn't have JT Jeter. We don't know what impact he can have. Some of those football kids that are, nagging some injuries that have held them back. But it sounds like he's going to be deployed this week.
Yeah, and if I'm Coach Monks, thankful Coach Jeter got the job at SUU, because to have some athleticism, some size move in, that's always a blessing.
Yeah, and Coach Stout, they're 2-1. They've already played 3 games, and they're scoring 72 points a game so far this year. Now, all of those are home games against smaller classifications, but that still bodes well. The one loss was to a 4A school in Payson, who's now 4A again. So Hurricane could be, that was a down year for them. They could be, it seems like maybe that culture could be fast-tracked in the rebuild with Coach Stout, because he cares and he's been there for a long time, and he's from Hurricane.
Yeah, I think so. I actually saw them play quite a bit this summer. It seemed like we were at some of the same tournaments, and they did get a little bit of a late start with him getting the job, but he tried to make up for it. They played a lot this fall out here at Nets on Fire. They have a couple seniors that have some experience, and so they're one of those teams that you can't sleep on. And Cedar's the same. Desert Hills, you're going to get their best effort every night. They play as hard as anybody I've seen, and there's going to be games where teams just find a way to win. It might not be the prettiest. You mentioned Crimson, they only made 2 threes. There's going to be games where they have that, but they're going to win games because they're just going to switch up a defense, or they're going to get a timely turnover. Someone's going to hit a big shot, and so teams are going to find ways to win.
Let's get to the all-region drum roll. We have a drum roll. This is voted the MVP. I think he was on every single ballot, listed first on almost every single ballot.
Just about, yeah. Owen Mackey comes out as the MVP for the preseason poll. And I will say, right there, close second to lead the first team off is Kyle Lemke. I think you can't mention Owen without mentioning Kyle right there. Those two are pretty close to each other. But Kyle Lemke, as we mentioned, leads the first team with Nash Schroeder, Jordan Roberts, Griffin Shepard, and Sean Feltz. Those are your 5 right there for the first team.
Yeah, I think pretty spot on.
Yeah, I agree.
Coach?
Yeah, and I think what Caden said is perfect. You could easily swap a Kyle for an Owen. It's going to be interesting, with Owen, losing some of the players that he did. His workload's going to change a little bit, and so it's going to be interesting to see how he handles that. But he's definitely up to the challenge, and a phenomenal talent. And Kyle, he's as consistent as they come. He's got a lot of help with Jordan and Brecken and Logan, but Kyle does his thing, and I think at the end of the year we may have a co-MVP situation.
That'll be interesting to see. The preseason is one thing, the postseason accolades are another, but plenty of love to go around. I think it's a really good preseason poll. All right, let's get to some of the second teams. A lot of these guys, multiple votes on the entries.
Yeah, these are our honorable mentions, our second team, whichever you want to call it here. A lot of names, so we'll go through them real quick. We had JT Jeter, Eli Allred, Logan Whitehour, Scoop Johnson, Landon Kreitzer, RJ Hurst, Brecken Robinson, Owen Aloha, Caleb Jackman, Trey Kelch, and Ben Chase. So a lot of the guys that we saw here today, some of these guys that are leaders on these teams. A few names that we didn't see come in today, but all of those great ball players.
Yeah, there could be some sophomores, there could be some sneaky sophomores that just kind of getting their feet wet. Look at Chaz Holbrook over there. Yeah. He could be an all-region guy by the end of the season if he continues to progress. He's quick.
Yeah, Mikhail Lindquist, the way that he can shoot the ball. There's definitely going to be some younger guy. That sophomore class, I have a son that age, that sophomore class for years has as much talent as any class I've ever seen come through Southern Utah. So there's definitely going to be some of those younger players that step up and contribute in a big spot this season.
I was a little bit bummed that Jay Sweeten and some of the other Luke Childs and some of the other football players didn't end up turning out for Crimson, but that's tough. And when you focus on one sport and you win a state championship, and sometimes it's the best decision for you. We know Jay Sweeten's probably going to get a nice little scholarship to play safety somewhere, but he could have really helped them down in the low post with some rebounding, I thought.
Yeah.
And Luke's pretty tall too.
Yeah, and obviously that's a choice that they made, and they had a phenomenal football season, but it does open the door, like we just mentioned, for some of those younger players to step in, a Brenton Phillips, a Travis Murdoch, some of these younger guys to get their feet wet, and, ultimately that's going to help the program in the long run.
It's fun because you can kind of see some of these teams' identities. They're going to hang their hat on defense. They're going to run and gun and push the tempo. They're going to shoot a lot of threes. We know Desert Hill's probably going to shoot a lot of threes this year. So it's going to be fun. We'll get the broadcast schedule out for you. We got over 40 games on the simulcast, on radio, and a lot more on the video stream. We're going to be doing 3 games a week coming at you starting later this week. So very excited about our schedule. Check the fansportsnetwork.com. Make sure you subscribe and like our YouTube page, and let the games begin. Final thoughts, guys? Caden, final thoughts?
I'm excited. Let's get going.
Let's go. Casey, final thoughts?
No, we appreciate you guys being here. Nets on Fire is a huge supporter of Region 9, and we're excited to get these games going and be able to watch all these phenomenal athletes and coaches do their thing this season.
All right, we'll take a break here from this, but lots more basketball coverage on the Fan Sports Network, weekday mornings on The Drive and weekday afternoons on From the Bleachers, and then, of course, lots of play-by-play. So we'll get that rolled out on the website and watch for games coming starting later this week. And for our entire staff here at Fan Sports Network, stgeorgenews.com, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, thanks to all the coaches and players for representing their schools.